Moving along now and following up what we talked about in the previous tutorial, I'll talk through the differences between the two available audio mixers here in Premiere Pro Creative Cloud. Here's the audio track mixer, and here's the audio clip mixer. As you can see, there's a difference between the two visually. It's not much, but it's there, and this leads to the difference in their functionality. To help explain what I mean, we'll start by looking at the track mixer. And perhaps here, the main difference you'll notice is there are 4 faders, one for each audio track and one for the master. That master track, with its fader strip, wasn't available with the clip mixer. Also here you'll see this reveal list that allows you to choose your audio automation mode. Choose from read, latch, touch or write. Now by default it's set to read, and this means any keyframe automation that you add in will be read by the mixer, and the mixer will respond accordingly. And speaking of drop reveal menus, notice at the top you have this set to master. In our example that's the only option, as we only have that master track. We have no submixing going on. Now remember me saying in the last tutorial that the track mixer differs to the clip mixer in that it has some hidden functions. Well, if you click here on this arrow, you expand this area and you'll see all these individual slots. Well, for each slot you can add an audio effect and also chain them together too to process that individual track. We'll look at this more later. I'll close it up for now. Right, by coming down to the timeline, I'll show you how the two mixers differ in functionality. I'll just reveal this piano track more by making room with the other audio tracks. Notice they're both muted still. Okay, here's the difference. If I place the CTI anywhere within the first clip's range, then we'll see on the piano's mixer fader, it's set to playback at 0 dB. Okay, nothing wrong with that, no problems. And if I flick over to the clip mixer, of course we see the same thing, because we've not adjusted the volume for the clip or the track. However, here in the clip mixer, I'll reduce the playback volume by dragging the fader right down to here, and then by looking at the timeline, if I move the CTI along a little, but still within the first clip's duration, well, the mixer fader remains where we just set it. But notice what happens once I move the CTI along, so it's positioned somewhere over the second clip, and importantly, not the first clip where we made that fader change. I'll click here. See, the fader snapped back up to 0 dB from its much reduced volume of clip 1. So, fundamentally that's the difference. The clip mixer reflects an audio timeline snapshot at that position along the sequence. And it doesn't matter where I move the CTI to within this second clip, even though it is a duplicate of the first clip. This principle will still apply with different clips. So, as I say, it doesn't matter where I move the CTI to within this second clip, because the faders reflect 0 dB. Now, if I reduce the volume fader a couple of dBs for the second clip's duration, I can click anywhere here to have the fader reflect just a couple of decibels attenuation. But as soon as I go to the first clip with the CTI, it jumps down dramatically to what we set it at a few minutes ago. So that's how the audio clip mixer operates. It jumps about to where we set it for individual clips. Hence that's why it's called the audio clip mixer. By contrast though, the track mixer reflects the overall fader instructions regardless of clip changes. As an example, imagine you had 10 clips on one track that jumped about erratically in terms of volume or pan position or whatever changes you make. Well, all those changes would be reflected in the clip mixer, but to retain overall control of all those clips together, we use the track mixer. Imagine then we had clip 1 and that was down by 5 dB, clip 2 could be down by 7 dB, clip 3 minus 2 dB, etc, etc. Well, as your CTI moved along the sequence, your clip mixer would move to reflect those changes. But using the same example, the track mixer set at 0 dB, i.e. optimum level, well that doesn't move. However, if we did set the track mixer down by minus 3 dB, then those clip volume changes I've just mentioned for all your individual clips would still apply, but each one of those would be reduced further by minus 3 dB because that's what we've determined it by in the track mixer. Okay, so they are tied together, but as we've talked about here, you can see that they are quite distinct really in how they operate and their functionality.